What's up, you sweaty nerds and greasy degenerates? The golden hour approaches. The moment we've all been waiting for is almost finally here. Kafka will be arriving in Honkai Star Rail in roughly 10 days. This gives us 10 days to start pre-farming and getting materials and credits ready in order to properly level her up. We're going to be going over all of that, whether you're min-maxing or fully maxing out every single skill. So let's go ahead and get into it. Yesterday I put out a build guide for how to build Kafka. I'll put a link to that in the description and in a pinned comment. And a lot of the information you're going to be seeing here is actually provided by the Fluffy Burrito on Reddit. So I'll also provide a link to the Fluffy Burrito's Reddit post in the comment and in the description as well. So let's go ahead and dive in. So this information here is found in the Kafka mains subreddit. And the Fluffy Burrito is the person that made this particular Reddit post. So give them some love because I really liked that they went through the trouble of finding out what pre-farming we're going to actually need to do to level up Kafka in a meaningful way. And there are 3 different images I want to go through here, and this is the one I want people to focus on the most, this one right here, because this is the min-maxing Kafka that we're going to do. You simply do not need to get every single piece of trace material for Kafka, every single level up material for Kafka, because it's not necessary on day 1. As you can see here, roughly 2 million credits and 54 of this Nihility level up for her traces versus almost 4 million credits and 139 of this top level Nihility level up trace material. So just think about that for a moment. It's much easier to achieve this here than it is this other one here. It simply is easier, okay? And we'll go over why it's okay to build for that right now, because it's day 1. Let's be honest with ourselves. You're probably not going to be able to fully max out Kafka on day 1. So this is why we're going to look at this one first, because this is much more achievable, and this will give us a fully functioning and working Kafka at meta for a lot less material, okay? Because let's look at this for instance. We're going to leave Kafka's basic attack at level 1, because you're not going to ever use it. Kafka only wants you to use her skill every single turn. It's not like with Sela, where since Sela is so skill hungry that occasionally you kind of don't think about it and you accidentally have to use a basic attack. With Kafka it's going to be a little bit different, because Kafka is going to be able to really boost the DOTs of your team. You can use your second DPS or your support to basic attack the enemy and it's going to be fine because it'll still leave a DOT, and then on Kafka's turn she uses her skill and activates that DOT. So it's way different than with other teams. It's totally okay for Kafka to be using her skill every single turn. So don't level up her basic attack on day 1, okay? So level up her talents to level 6 for right now. Like I said, you're going to max everything out later, but for right now, talents to level 6, and then level up her skill and ultimate to level 8. So this information is based off of that. That's what this information is based off of here. This is the farming material you will need to be able to build around a day 1 Kafka. Okay? So like I said already, roughly 2 million credits, a ton of these level up materials. You don't need to only use purple books, obviously. Use whatever you have. If you have brown books, white books, that's fine. This is just a visual representation of how much you're going to need. And then you can see here there's a lot less Nihility material that you're going to need to level her up as well. But let's go in-game and show you these other pieces, because not everyone's going to necessarily be too familiar with this stuff. There's a yellow one here, and this other yellow one here. Let's go in-game. As I said before, farm the crap out of this Nihility right here, and farm the crap out of this right here for the Shapeshifter's Lightning Staff. So don't get this twisted. Don't get this confused, because there's a lightning level up Ascension material here, and there's another lightning level up Ascension material right here. A lot of people are familiar with this one, but they might not realize there's 2 different ones and completely miss out on this one, because this one you have to scroll down to. So don't screw that up, okay? This is the one you need, this is the one you want, this is the one you pre-farm right here, okay? So hopefully people haven't already goofed that up. This is the one you want right here. Now, the other one we need is a brand new boss just came out in 1.2, and that's the Echo of War that we need to farm right now for Kafka, okay? As you can see right here, Regret of the Infinite Okchema. This is the one that we're going to want for Kafka. You need 5 of them for that day 1 Kafka build that we were talking about, okay? You can already see that this account has 3, and the week switches in only 1 day. So I'm going to have all of the material I need for my day 1 Kafka ready to go. It's going to be totally fine. So just something to think about, because you only get 3 attempts at Echo of War a week. So don't goof that up. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to have a day 1 Kafka like leveled up to 80, okay? So just think about that, okay? So that's what we're going to need for Kafka. Is, you know, farm this up right here. Farm up your Stagnant Shadow. Farm this up right here. That's what you're going to need to importantly do. And don't forget that with your Ascension Materials, through your assignment, you can also farm up some of the other materials like this Destruction of Destroyer here. And you can use the synchronization system to get these other pieces ready that you might not necessarily have a ton of. So don't forget the Synchro System can help you get there with some of this stuff as well, because you can just, you know, churn. This synchronization system is great. Use this to get some of the other level up material that you already have for other things in order to create what you might need for Kafka. For instance, I have like 4,000 of this stuff right here. I don't need that. I can turn this into something else that I might need on my account more. So just don't forget that the synchronization system exists, okay? Now let's quickly go back over and look at, this is fully ascending Kafka. 4 million credits is a lot, but that's what you're going to eventually have to work towards. And then 139 of that top tier Ascension material, Trace material for Kafka as well, and 12 of the Echoes of War material to fully level up Kafka. So screenshot this if you want, or this other one here, screenshot this if you want. This is the one you need to focus on right here. This one, and then this other one here, this is fully leveling up Kafka. Now let's go over some team compositions really quick here, because while I agree with a lot of what is said in this Reddit post, there's a lot of variation we can go for as well. For example, with Luca is arriving the same day that Kafka arrives. Are we really going to be able to level up Kafka and Luca at the same time? Probably not. You're probably going to level up Kafka first, and then you might use the Sampo that you might already have. A lot of people already have a Sampo, so just go ahead and use Sampo, because this person probably thinks that Luca's going to be better for Kafka because Luca's DOTs actually deal more damage. They do. But Sampo has effects in his kit that increase the power of DOTs. So Sampo isn't exactly a bad choice. In fact, he might be better. I don't know if people have properly run the math, because Luca's not out yet. Okay, so I don't know if people have properly figured out whether Luca's actually better or not. I did say in my last video Luca could be better, but we're just not sure at this time. So either one of these two characters is totally fine to support with Kafka. I'd go for Sampo first because everyone probably has a Sampo already, so go ahead and use your Sampo. Same situation over here with the support slot. A lot of people already have a Ting Yun. Just use your Ting Yun. Ting Yun could even be better than Asta, because although Asta does provide speed and attack, Ting Yun provides a better attack buff, which is going to be more meaningful because Kafka is mostly built around attack and affect hit rate. A lot of people are going to still think, their brain just thinks, oh, crit damage, crit rate, crit damage, crit rate. You don't need that on Kafka at all, literally at all. Build for attack percent, build for effect hit rate, and speed on Kafka. And you don't even need that much effect hit rate. If you need more information on how to build Kafka, I put a link in the pinned comment and the description. Go check those out. Plus, a lot of people aren't going to have Asta leveled up, but they might have a Ting Yun leveled up because they were probably pairing Ting Yun with their main DPS from a different team. So just consider that. You know, these two right here, Asta and Luca, might be really good, but Ting Yun and Sampo are arguably as good and already probably leveled up on your squad. So just consider that. And again here with the healer slot, Bai Lu is a lightning type as well as Kafka. I don't know if this person has factored that in. You're not going to get that much weakness spread on your team. So you're not gonna like if you have too many lightning types on your team, you might end up having a problem. That's the other issue with Ting Yun. That's the one problem I see with Ting Yun is that she's also a lightning type just like Kafka, so your weakness damage spread is not going to be as high. So that's one thing to consider. But I think Locha is arguably the best in slot healer for probably any team. He just basically makes it so that you can't die, and that's really, really important in my opinion. So I'd probably use Locha, but the reason why they probably chose Bailu is for that electric type, because electric types deal DOT. That's probably why they were chosen for this slot. So if you have Bailu, go ahead and use Bailu. You can totally use Locha, you can totally use Natasha. Do whatever you have for your account that works. Using Natasha isn't a bad choice. It's just toward the bottom of the barrel. I too am going to have to use Natasha because the account that I am going to be pulling for Kafka on can't do anything else. Natasha is my healer. That's what I have. But don't forget that Lynx is going to be coming out in patch 1.3, and Lynx will be a very solid choice for any healer slot as well, because Lynx is going to be better than Natasha, let's just be honest with ourselves. So, if this video was helpful to you, leave a like and subscribe. If it wasn't, leave a hate thread in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, good luck on your 50-50s, and good luck pulling for Kafka.